Hey folks, today back in the Green Mountains, we're going to do something a little different today. We've kind of staked out a base camp and got a couple of wetlands in the area that we're going to try to check out today and possibly tomorrow if that works out. And the wetland that's immediately over the hill from us is going to be the object of a night operation tonight. I'm going to try to figure out how to get some reliable video in the dark and night vision if that's possible, and get a taste of that for something different. And with any luck we'll have that work. And this is going to be episode 7, and we're in an area that we refer to as area 3 out of a couple areas in this part of the Green Mountains. It is Friday, June the 3rd, and this is the first segment for the video. We hope you enjoy this, and things will be reported as they occur. Thanks. This video will be done justice if you can hear the bugs flying around me. They're pretty self-insistent, presumably black flies. At least this time we remembered our head net. Should it get so bad we have to deal with that. We are kind of following a sort of trail, and hoping this leads to one of the wetlands I was hoping to check out, and we'll see. That does look like a clearing up there, so we'll see in a moment, because according to the map I made, the wetland wasn't too far off from base camp. We shall see. Moose tracks. Never quite far away from Bullwinkle up here. God forbid monkey tracks. And unlike the last time, because we're in less familiar country, I brought a compass this time, just as an FYI, and to remind myself I have it. Although the trail's here to basically navigate by too, so far. The thing is, we've gone far enough that this might not be the point I was thinking, because the map had indicated less distance to the watershed, or to the wetlands, and you get that creepy feeling we should have been there by now. And I can imagine where you keep following this thing, and it opens up, and then it doesn't, and then it does, and you keep going a ways doing that, and never hit what you're looking for. So, we're gonna go up as far as this, and should that not prove to be the case, I'm going to fall back and punt, and because it just seems to keep doing this. But the irritant being, remembering the map, it seems to go in the right direction. It just doesn't seem to want to lead you where you want to go. So, well, like it's going uphill too, which isn't the implied intent. And I'm not seeing it open up really in here. Normally with a watershed you can see that. But yeah, I'm going to call this. We're going to go back to the road and navigate better. As much as some might think I should press on, you're going to see a lot of this, and it's not, it wasn't part of the game plan, and given the choice, I would rather stay on plan. A little bit more about what we intend to do tonight. If time and opportunity and circumstance sync up right, we're going to check out both watersheds. If not, I'm going to fall back and punt and check the one immediately behind base camp, because that's the intended night op target for tonight. And I chose the base camp location not because it really amounts to anything. Got a poo sample right there, and kind of hard to see what that is, but considering I see a lot of leaf and veggie matter, I'm gonna take the convenient assumption that it probably is moose poo, although it doesn't have the normal milk dud consistency that you see in moose crap, but that is what that is. So, yeah, we're gonna do a night op around the area behind my base camp, and all the base camp area doesn't look like much. I did pick it largely out of convenience to the vicinity to the watershed area, and we'll check that out and see if that is in fact a good listening post location. And from there, it's like I said, pretty much events as they warrant, and we'll take it from there. As thumping around in here at night, you should get lost. That's the fun stuff you're going through. It's pretty thick and uneven, rocky ground, so that's part of what you're looking at. So we are going to stop going on the tangent we were on and stick to the plan. Pretty much up to fate whether the plan proves to be fruitful or not. So, kind of right here we have a common, with an eastern red-spotted newt, I believe. Zoom in on him so you get a little quick wildlife shot on him. That's a salamander. They recently were doing a Forestry Service study on them, checking for signs of an invasive fungus. And the good news from that study is that so far they seem clean and that we have a happy, healthy population of newts and salamanders in the Northeast, which is a good thing since the study goes on to make it very clear they are kind of a warning sign species like frogs are. If there's a toxin in the environment, the way a newt's skin works, it absorbs pretty much everything. So if you see a large die-off in them, that's usually a bad indication of something being wrong. So we're also talking a little bit for establishing our presence should we be in the vicinity of bears or the like. 2 weeks ago, it doesn't look like I really caught it to merit it as it seemed at the time as far as the video I made goes, but there was something sizable making a racket in the woods, and there had been some foraging bear sign in that immediate area. So I didn't actually see the culprit of the noise. The culprit, given my experience of what a deer versus a bear will make, does point me towards it was probably a bear that got spooked and ran off. Looked like he was just hanging around looking for grubs and digging in the ground, but we'll have to assume that's the case without really having proof. So on a completely whimsical aside, it always seems like you cover less ground until you start heading out. You realize you went further in than you intended to. But there's that moose track again. But here we are, and pardon that, I just every now and then check to make sure we're recording. Got to admit, this is a little bit different than the terrain we were in the last time, at least for this segment. That would make a nice little camping spot if it wasn't right on a water plane. You can see where the stream actually kind of comes close. It goes right through there. You get water going through there, you'd be wet pretty quick. And getting close to the road, we'll cut this segment and just leave you with the scenery and continue our search for watershed number 2. Okay, folks, we are looking at our spot for tonight. I've tried a couple of vantage points or a couple of entry points to get into this thing, but the terrain really isn't too friendly for kind of like a sedentary spot. So my plan B for this is going to be, if that lovely fly will stop flying into my shot, we're going to set up a spot in here where we're kind of like back and away, but at a vantage point with night vision where we can see the greater part of the wetlands here. So this is what we're going to do for the night. It's easy in, easy out, and probably going to be the best we're going to do in this particular location. So that's the plan for tonight. For the immediate part of the afternoon, we're going to get some firewood going for a fire a little bit later and take things from there. And who knows, maybe we'll get some curiosity in from this area. Who knows? That's the plan for the day, and we'll take it from there. That's the latest update. Thanks. Hey folks, it's the sun's slowly getting a little slower, a little lower in the sky. We are looking. We've already put out a couple of wood knocks, and we haven't gotten a response yet, but it's still daylight. It's slowly getting less hot, less buggy. Gonna get a fire going pretty soon. Have some dinner, and from there we will do a sit by the bog and do a couple of periodic wood knocks to see if there's anything in the neighborhood. The one thing that is good to report is, because we are right behind a big open expanse, the acoustics are pretty good for wood knocking, so it'll carry a little ways. So there's that, and bear with us. This is just an update. All right, thanks. Hey folks, it's segment 3. Had a little minor mishap. I grabbed something near the fire. I paid for it. It is what it is. This is why you have a first aid kit with you and take care of things like that. The fire's been going, and crows are around the wetland right now. They are entertaining me. But the interesting thing, I got a timestamp at 6:15 when I got 3 probable wood knocks from the basically very slight northwest to due west. Range is indeterminate, but looking on a map from where I am, that is dense forest, at least in this part of the Green Mountains for 3-4 miles. Most of the campsites that would be occupied on the weekend would be to the south. This came from the west, which is ironically the same pattern that happened last year when I was here with the merchants. Interesting coincidence. That's my check-in for, it's probably about 7:30 now. It's getting a little dim in the light. Still summer out, but, I mean, sorry, it's still light out, but the bugs have gotten much better. And temperature is dipping into the low 60s tonight, so it's going to probably be pretty nice out here. You got like gnat things flying around, but they're not biting. Before you had deer flies, horse flies, black flies, so fun is. But we'll check in a little bit, light permitting and conditions permitting, and so far we've had some maybe wood knocks. I put a few out. I may have gotten a response. I have a recorder going. I brought with me just to make I guess a play-by-play. I have 3 H2 MP3 recorders with me. I'm still on my first one. They tend to have about 4 to 6 hours of endurance as far as battery life, and it's warm out, so they shouldn't drain too quickly in the cold, because we don't really have any at summertime. So I have one up now, and I will replace them throughout the night. I'm also going to put a trail cam directly on the wetlands should something come up. There's already been sounds from the leaf litter of critters about, so could be squirrels, could be, I mean, it's nothing exotic, but so far the night is young. We'll check in a little bit. This is me in the shadows, I guess. We'll Get a little light over here. Just testing out the camera in the dark. It has limits, obviously. The track record for tonight so far, I have a trio of H2 recorders. One's already kind of given up its battery life. I'm on my second one. The fire is going nicely though, which has gotten rid of the bugs quite nicely. We had wood knocks around 6:13, just to reiterate that, potentially anyway. And events as they warrant. We'll continue. Go.